fabled heat, where magic meets desire. Subscribe to ignite the fantasy.
The chill of the Parisian night bit at my exposed skin as I scaled the wrought iron balcony. Midnight, time to liberate the diamond serpent from the clutches of the odious Monsieur Dubois. I known only as Amber was a whisper in the underworld, a ghost in the gilded halls of the elite. Tonight I was a thief with a purpose. The lock clicked open with practiced ease. Inside, the air hung thick with the scent of rosewater and old money. The serpent, nestled in a velvet-lined case, pulsed with an inner light. Just as I reached for it, a voice drawled from the shadows. Expecting company, Amber. My blood turned to ice. Detective Inspector Jean-Luc Moreau. His eyes, the color of the sun at dusk, glinted in the dim light. He leaned against the doorframe, infuriatingly casual, a smirk playing on his lips. Then another voice came from behind me. "Seems you're not alone, mon amour." My head whipped around to see Detective Remy Dubois. There was a smirk on his lips, and his eyes were trained on me. "This was not good, gentlemen," I said, my voice a low purr, hoping to mask the tremor of annoyance that ran through me. "Such a pleasure, but I'm afraid I have a prior engagement with this lovely piece." I gestured to the diamond. Jean-Luc chuckled, a low, rumbling sound. "Always so dramatic, Amber, but tonight I think your performance ends here." Remy leaned in and whispered in my ear, "You're going to need our help." The chase was on. I vaulted over tables laden with champagne flutes, Jean-Luc and Remy hot on my heels. Their pursuit was relentless, almost playful. Jean-Luc with his sharp intellect and uncanny ability to anticipate my moves, and Remy with his raw strength and knowledge of the city's underbelly were a formidable pair. Jean-Luc cornered me on the rooftop. The wind whipped around us, carrying the scent of rain. "Admit it, Amber," he said, his voice closer now. "You enjoy this dance as much as I do." "Don't flatter yourself, Inspector," I retorted, but my heart hammered against my ribs. There was a dangerous allure to his relentless pursuit, a thrill in the knowledge that he saw me, the real me, beneath the mask. "I agree with Jean-Luc," Remy said, panting slightly as he caught up to us. "You do enjoy this more than you're letting on." "What do you want?" I asked, exasperated. "I'm a thief, you're detectives. This is how things are." Jean-Luc stepped closer, crowding my space. "What if," he murmured, his breath ghosting across my cheek, "things could be different?" The heat in his gaze was undeniable. Remy stalked forward as well, his eyes blazing. They both wanted me. I could feel it. What was I going to do? Over the next few weeks, the dynamic shifted. They didn't arrest me. Instead, they started showing up at my safe houses, offering cryptic warnings about rival gangs, sharing information about upcoming heists. Remy even helped me escape a particularly sticky situation with a group of Corsican mobsters. Jean-Luc, on the other hand, began leaving me coded messages in the newspapers, invitations to clandestine meetings in dimly lit cafes. He knew my weaknesses, my vulnerabilities. He knew how to get under my skin. One rain-soaked evening, I found myself in a hidden speakeasy, the same one where Jean-Luc had first cornered me. He was there waiting, a glass of amber liquid in his hand. "Why are you doing this?" I asked, my voice barely a whisper above the jazz music. "Because," he said, his eyes locking with mine, "I believe there's more to Amber than meets the eye." Remy appeared behind me and put his hands on my arms. "We both do," he breathed into my ear. I knew that they both wanted me, but I wasn't sure what the play was here. As I started to leave, Jean-Luc grabbed my arm to leave. A wave of heat washed over me as his fingers brushed my skin. "Can't do this," I blurted out. "Why not?" they implored. "Because." I trailed off, wanting to tell them the truth. I turned to face them both. "Because the diamond isn't the only thing I'm after." "What do you mean?" Remy asked, his brow furrowed. "Dubois isn't some mere collector," I explained. "He's laundering money for a human trafficking ring." Jean-Luc's face hardened. "Why didn't you tell us?" "Because I didn't trust you," I admitted. "But I need your help. I can't take him down alone." "We're in," Jean-Luc said without hesitation. "Always," Remy added, his grip tightening on my arm. We spent the next few days planning, strategizing, working together. The dynamic shifted again, from adversaries to allies, forged in the heat of a shared purpose. I found myself drawn to their strengths, their unwavering commitment to justice, and yes, to the undeniable attraction that simmered between us. The night we moved on Dubois was a symphony of chaos. I disabled the security system while Jean-Luc and Remy coordinated the police raid. We confronted Dubois in his opulent study, the diamond serpent glinting on the desk. "You won't get away with this, Amber," Dubois snarled. "I already have," I said, a triumphant smile playing on my lips. Dubois was arrested, his empire crumbling around him. The victims of his trafficking ring were rescued. Justice, for once, had prevailed. In the aftermath, I found myself standing on the same rooftop where Jean-Luc had first cornered me. He and Remy were there, waiting. "So," I said, my voice tentative. "What happens now?" Jean-Luc stepped forward, his hand reaching out to brush a stray strand of hair from my face. "That," he said, his voice low and husky, "is up to you." Remy put his arm around my waist and brought me closer to his body. "We want you," he whispered, "but not just as Amber." I looked from Jean-Luc's dark eyes to Remy's earnest gaze. The truth of their words resonated within me. They wanted me for who I was, flaws and all. I don't know if I'm ready for this, I confessed. We'll wait, Jean-Luc said, his eyes full of understanding. We're patient men, Remy added with a sly grin. I took a deep breath, the Parisian air filling my lungs. The future was uncertain, terrifying, and exhilarating. But for the first time in a long time, I wasn't alone. Okay, I said, a smile finally gracing my lips. Let's see what happens.